your many faces.
When I'm ready,
Times tell old word, like how pieces to the same terminus. Yet gleefully they canter along, always believing their master has returned.
Behold, the first daughter of Rayclast. Be one with the life force. Why fight progress?
when I'm ready, and not before.
Do not resist!
Nathan, the challenge begins. Your champion will fall. Solar Storm! Simulacrum! Astral Avalanche! Starfire!
Entertain me! Mortal finishes infallible! Grasp your mortality tightly!
I need more mana.
I'm faster!
Shadow, rise and fight!
Bleeding time!
Time to up the step! Grasp your mortality tightly!
How quick are you?
Time to up this mortal's nation! Resist the assault!
Greetings everyone, this is Redora and I wanted to do an update video on this Fire Trap Elementalist that I've been working on. And I gotta say this character's gear has made some leaps and bounds since the previous video. she is significantly stronger, actually probably officially stronger than my champion was when I last left off on him. Obviously, she's not as tanky. I mean, I don't think any witch build is going to be tankier than any champion build, but that aside, I'm very happy with where this character is at. I wanted to do some harder fights for this video, but I am conserving my boss fragments and invitations because I'll be taking on Ubers very soon. So look forward to that in a future video. Let's just jump into the gear because there's a lot that I want to go over. So first off, weapon. Alright, so I got a pretty clutch scepter with the dot multi fractured, and that was amazing. So I just crafted on it until I got the fire skill gems, and then I did 3 crafted mods with fire dot multi and fire damage. So it's basically almost the same as my previous scepter, except it has fire damage instead of fucking lightning damage. So that's great. Alright, next, helmet. So, late one night, I did some Uber labs, and I hit the 60% fire trap burning damage, and this has been, like, fucking incredible. Like, it's actually, like, insane, like, how much damage this gives you. It's actually stronger than the 40% fire trap damage when I plugged it into POB, which really surprised me. So, yeah, as you can imagine, I really lucked out on this one, and, yeah, it's been great to have. What else can I say? Shield got an upgrade as well. So, it has tier 1 life, which is amazing. The fractured lightning resistance is good. Everything on it has like kind of mid-ish rolls, but the combination of stats is just like exactly what I want / need, you know, for my setup. So this shield has been great to have for sure. Amulet got an upgrade as well, so now it has fire damage on it and a few more other useful stats, and it's actually tier 1 fire damage, max roll, which is amazing, of course. I had the opportunity to get a +2 amulet, and it didn't go so well. Let me just put it that way. So it was a amulet that had the +1 to all skill gems, but it had a really bad prefix on it, and as far as I could tell, there was really no way to get rid of that bad prefix unless I annul it. So I went for it because I didn't want, like, I think it was like physical leech or something, you know, something completely useless for the build. And yeah, I ended up removing the +1 to all skill gems, which really sucks, but I don't really account for getting a +2 amulet on my character. You know, if I can hit it, you know, that's amazing, and I would like to go for it. If I don't, you know, that's just how it goes. It is what it is. Next up, ring. I think this is the same as the last video. I did put in another Vermilion ring as well. I feel like this is pretty okay. It had a high life roll, so I used the open prefix slot to just put the increased damage craft on it. And yeah, I feel like the rings could definitely be better, but I also feel like for rings, they're probably one of the more annoying slots to like try and get, you know, upgrades for and fine-tune. So I'm probably just going to be sticking with these for now, because I don't really want to like farm up a bunch more essences to maybe hit something that's slightly better. These are doing okay for me, so I'll just keep them as they are. Body armor also changed as well. So I crafted on another 6-link armor evasion base that I got, and I hit a very high armor evasion roll on it. This is actually tier 1 for flat armor / evasion. And I also got the percentage on it as well. So what I did is I took the life mastery for 15% more life if you have no life mods on your chest, and this ended up being a net gain. So that's been really great, and it gave me a little bit more armor to help out with Molten Shell as well, which was one of the things that I talked about previously. I didn't really know if I had enough armor to justify using Molten Shell, and you know, it's still not super high, but it's better than it was before. So when I have like Granite Flask and all my flask and whatnot rolling, you know, it gets up there, but it's still not incredible. But I feel a little bit better about keeping Molten Shell. I could still swap it out, but I'll just leave it as is for now. Gloves also changed. I got one with Fractured Tier 1 Life, which is very nice. And yeah, again, kind of similar to the shield, it has a combination of stats that I really like. The strength, you know, I wouldn't mind if it were something else, but the strength gives more HP. You know, I'm cool with it. I don't really think I'm going to be doing anything with these gloves. And having that little chaos resistance is something that I really wanted as well. My boots are okay. They get the job done. They're not incredible. But again, they have what I need, you know, to have my setup, you know, to hold my setup together. They're missing a prefix. I'll probably end up just finishing it with an Exalt and calling it a day, because I've been getting kind of tired of trying to find a better upgrade for my boot slot, and I think this is going to be just fine from here on out. And then last but not least, sorry, my belt. So for the first time, I've tried messing with influences on items, and so I got a Shaper heavy belt, and I used a Conqueror's Orb that I got from a Cirrus kill previously, and I used that on a Warlord belt to put Warlord influence on the Shaper heavy belt. And I wanted this combination because Shaper can get elemental damage as a suffix, and then Warlord can get increased damage plus fire damage as well. So if I could like hit any, you know, 2 or even all 3 of those, like that would just be incredible. It's not super realistic, but I just wanted to see if I could get them. And so I did the Firecraft on the Harvest bench, and yeah, lo and behold, this is what I ended up with. So it has tier 1 increased damage and fire damage, which is pretty insane. I gotta say, like, you know, I'm no expert on evaluating items, but I feel like this is pretty damn good. Like, everything on it is stuff that I'm okay with. Even the strength, too. Like, that's just more HP and more stats. And it's got okay resistances. Not great, but not awful either. I don't know. I think this is, like, one of the best pieces I've crafted so far. Obviously, like, there's always things that could be better about it, but I'm super happy, you know, getting, like, what is this? Like, 52% more damage out of my belt slot. I'll take it. Fine by me. Other thing I should go over is I have an Empower support in my chest now. I tried to double corrupt it with Doriani's Institute and did not hit the level 4, which is unfortunate, but as is, it's still a damage increase for Fire Trap overall. And I ended up moving Combustion to my Frostblink setup here because I still wanted the -10 fire resistance that Combustion support gives. Even though that this is a damage loss for Frostblink over deadly elements, I didn't want to give up the -10 fire resistance, especially for Fire Trap's damage output. And it's still been fine, as you can see from, you know, the Lair of the Hydra mapping segment that I did earlier. And yeah, so Lightning Coil is still not 6-linked also. I've been meaning to try this. I've been trying to spam fusings on it and haven't hit the 6-link. And at this point, I don't think I'm really going to end up using it because it's just, you know, I would have to redo a bunch of pieces to account for the -60 lightning res. And I'm not going to be spell suppress capped. I'm comfortable with what I have now. And I feel like if I try to put this in and like have to recraft a bunch of gear, it's just going to fuck up everything. And it's going to be a huge headache for me. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to pass on the Lightning Coil for now, even if it could be better and open up some other opportunities for me. Okay. Whew. Let's go into passives, which have also changed quite a bit. And there's a bunch of stuff I need to talk about here. So I have a lot of tattoos on. Most of them are just like attributes, resistances. Yeah, resistances here and there. Energy shield recharge. The one Modern Reservation tattoo, Chaos Res. I unfortunately never saw the Dexterity Gems tattoo or Intelligence Gems tattoo, both of which would have been massive damage increases for this build. You know, it kind of just is what it is. I pushed to like a little over 500 rating. I could probably do a little more and see if I couldn't get it, but I'm gonna be hitting the wall in Trial of the Ancestors like soon enough. So if I just don't get it, then I don't get it. But if I do, that would be incredible. But the other thing I need to talk about for passes is, so I was kind of like messing around and plugging stuff in and out of POB, and I found that getting this fire cluster here to make your ignites deal damage faster was actually a big, jump in damage for Fire Trap. And I was kind of thinking back to Explosive Arrow, and if you've played the build before, you know that Dyadian Dawn is a very key item for the build because it increases the damage that, or well, sorry, not it increases your damage by making ignites deal damage faster. I don't really know, like, in detail how this works or why it works out like this. If somebody, is more knowledgeable on this mechanic of the game, definitely let me know in the comments about why this is the case, because I would like to know myself. I've been kind of wondering why ignites dealing damage faster ends up being more damage. Strangely enough, this was actually a damage loss for Frostblink. So I was kind of messing around with some other stuff, and the other thing that I landed on was getting this oh, sorry, not this one. This damage over time mastery for increased ailment duration, and this was a big jump for Frostblink's damage. It was a very small increase for Fire Trap, but for Frostblink, for whatever reason, yeah, it was a very large increase. I don't really know the mechanics behind like ignite and like damage over time and how they operate too much. I kind of was just like messing around and plugging stuff in, seeing like what I could do to like, get my numbers up on everything. And yeah, that's kind of what I landed on. It's a little bit weird, but it works. I feel like it works out pretty well, all in all. Yeah, I have a little more damage down here with these trap nodes, and I think everything else is like mostly the same. I've kind of just like finessed the build as much as I can to get as much damage nodes as possible without really like sacrificing too much life here and there. And I put the fire mastery for regen from uncapped fire resistance, which has been really nice. So now I have a decent amount of life regen on this build, which is great. And yeah, I think that's like pretty much it as far as like stuff I need to talk about for the passage tree. And again, I don't think I'm gonna end up trying golems again. It's gonna like just force me to overhaul my skill gem setup and like change a bunch of stuff that I feel like is just gonna be a huge headache. So I'm sticking with Bastion of Elements. It's very solid, it's convenient, and who knows, the elemental damage shield will probably save my life at some point or another, if it hasn't already many times over. Yeah, I think that's like pretty much covers it. I'm looking forward to doing some Ubers with the character very soon. And once again, thank you very much to Subtractem for providing the Fire Trap Elementalist build and guide that I've been referring to throughout this character's journey. It's been very helpful, and yeah, thanks for all the hard work that you put into that. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and consider checking me out on Twitch as well. It would help me out a lot. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this. I'll see you in the next one, and have a good one.